are y'all today? My name is John Ryan. I am a project manager and response manager for HEPACO Environmental Company. I am here today with my son, Jake Ryan, that is a fifth grader at Jones Valley Elementary here in Huntsville, Alabama. And we're going to be discussing my career and hopefully answer some of the questions you may have. So Jake, what do you have for me today?
Briefly describe what led you to your current job.
My current job as a project manager and response manager started out, I guess, in the fire service. As a firefighter paramedic, I had a strong interest in hazardous materials and mitigation of incidents. So with that going hand in hand with being an ER, emergency response manager, I have a lot of interest with the hazmat side of things. So that kind of just led right into and helped me develop myself as a project manager with HEPACO.
What schooling or experience did you have to go through to get your current job?
As far as schooling, as a project manager, I depend heavily on math. Project managers put together spreadsheets, proposals, quotes for clients as far as when they want work done, what it's going to cost to get that work done. So I depend heavily on a lot of math. And once the project starts, I depend heavily on a lot of science, because a lot of the jobs we do, especially if there's spills, will be a lot of chemistry with how chemicals react with one another. What do you look for? What are some of the signs? And what do you try to keep away from mixing so that way you don't cause any further problems, and how to mitigate those issues. So I would say definitely the science and math are going to be the big ones for me as far as schooling. As far as experiences, there again, going back to my hazmat side of the fire service, a lot of those experiences and just being with other hazmat directors, just learning a lot on the job helped me out tremendously.
Explain your role and what skills you require for your position.
My role there again is a project manager, meaning once the projects are won and I am actually doing them, I manage them from start to finish. And a lot of times you'll hear that cradle to grave, meaning that we get on site, we dig or we clean up what we're doing, and we have to take all the way through disposal, meaning it goes to the proper facilities where it could be either incinerated for beneficial reuse. Sometimes chemicals can be reused under different matter or different states, or it just could be meaning going to the landfill. But either way, they have to be disposed of properly. So that's some of the skills that I have. As far as a response manager, people skills are the big thing. You have to make sure that your clients are happy, they're taken care of, and that your environment around you is one of the top priorities. Of course, after life safety, you have to make sure that the environment around you is taken care of and cleaned up properly so we can all still enjoy it.
What does an average day look like for you?
There are really no average days for me at all. I try to set plans, I try to set meetings and agendas, and there are no average days, which is what I like about this career. What I like about this job is there's no, same day. I could get up in the morning and start my day out with conference calls and then immediately be interrupted and have a spill on the side of the interstate. It could be a plane crash. It could be a train wreck. It could be anything. So really are no average typical days, which I enjoy.
What's the hardest part of your job?
The hardest part would be managing personnel, our people, just being able to satisfy their needs as an employee. Is probably the most difficult part, having direct reports, subordinates, and being able to please them, because a lot of people, especially today's era, are not as forgiving as what maybe they used to have been. So I'd say that was the hardest part, is managing the people that work for me.
What are your long-term career goals?
Long-term career goals, I would eventually like to be a branch manager, even a vice president, a regional manager, where I would just continue doing what I'm doing, but also have a larger area, and that would make more sense for me to roll into that, being that I've been such a response manager in a large area anyway, coming from Charleston, South Carolina, and then now into Huntsville, Alabama as a remote project manager. That next step would definitely be into a branch manager and then hopefully into a VP role.
What advice would you have given to students finding a career they love?
You got to love what you do, and to find a career or something that you love, just try different things. Try to find things that interest you, number one, and once you find that, find a niche or find that pathway that gets you into it. But to be able to do that, you've got to try different things. You can't just stay on one path. There's nothing bad about trying different things at all. And if you don't succeed, just try again. There's nothing wrong with failing. So definitely enjoy what you're doing.
What is the job outlook for your professions?
Say again?
What is the job outlook for your professions?
The job outlook. My profession's not going anywhere. We are busier now than we've ever been, with more companies, more industry growing in America. We are not downsizing at all. We are growing. We are assisting large facilities in plants, everyday work. We're running transportation, like I said again, with planes and trains and trucks going up down the interstates and rail. And we are definitely busier now mitigating these hazards, whether it be a spill or just an everyday run-of-the-mill plant tank cleaning. We are definitely growing, so that is definitely a good industry to get into. All right, he says that's it. So I do have some pictures I want to share with you and hopefully answer some of your questions. But thanks for joining me, and I hope y'all have a good day. This map just shows our service area that we cover. This is just training photos. Here we're practicing how to close and secure valves in the top of a rail car. This is just showing us how to plug the side of a rail car. And this is how you keep vapors down from a rail car that's venting.